That's right. This isn't even the real space shuttle, by the way. This is a model that they did. They did this model of the space shuttle. I think they blew like $50 million or $100 million on this model, but it's a model of what the space shuttle would be, or to test feasibility. They said basically it's a model of the space shuttle that they did in 1980 or something like that, or some year. Basically, it's a 1/16 or 1/32nd model of the space shuttle. It's not even a real space shuttle. It just proves that using a real um, telephone lens, look at that, it's a cent. Like you didn't know that. This is a model of the actual space shuttle. 1/16 scale. No, 1/32nd scale. They spent $150 million on this thing. I forget exactly when they did this, 1970 or 1960, I don't know, or 1980, but basically this is a model of the real space shuttle. They called it a feasibility study and showed it to people as if it was a real. They even supposedly launched it a couple times. Buzz, how are we going? Just mission control. Just mission control. Anyway, yeah, mission control launched the shuttle. All right. Um, JFK did launch a shuttle. They were launching this right here, so they could actually say that they were a space program, because they couldn't actually say that they were a space program unless they actually launched something into space. So they built this model for $150 million. Realistically, it only cost about 50,000. Has realistic looking little shooters. I forget what they're shooting out here, but you can tell right there. It's a 1/32nd scale model of what is basically the space shuttle. Well, because JFK had no involvement, NASA had no involvement, NASA the boxer, and they wanted to be able to say that they were a space agency in some way. So they built this scale. They spent $50,000 on this thing, pretty much. But they actually took over like $150 million worth of taxpayer dollars or something like that, or a couple $1 billion or something to build it. Anyway, put a nice little thing on the side here, make it look like it's real. Anyway, and you wouldn't know that that's just like a little thing. Anyway, I have some like little stuff spraying down. I think this was like smoke or something. But it's realistic. But it's just a model. Some guy admitted it, and then when he got threats on his life or something like that, pretty much. But it's 1/32nd scale model of the actual space shuttle. You can kind of tell where the engines meet right there, that it's not real. And I mean, they did a good job. It's a very nice model. You can see it's just glued on up there, but this is what they actually. This is just kind of glued on right there. I mean, they did a really good shot with the camera things and jiggling around. What they're actually doing is they're actually displaying their microscopic thing, and they're actually jiggling the camera like I'm jiggling my camera right now, like this. What they're actually doing is they're actually just jiggling the camera like this. That's what those movements are. They're just taking the camera and bumping it. And I think they might actually use lights or something. I'm not exactly sure to actually get the light effect. I'm not sure how they get the light effect, but this is all just some scale model. Like nobody noticed that. Like, what's this tube do here? I think that's actually the rocket tube that the actual propellant. This is just like a light, I think, or something like that. And that's the actual propellant that lights off, or something like that. We see it's supposed to be burning, and they put a little lens flare right there. Or maybe it's burning. I don't know. No, I think that's an added effect or something like that. They just brush the what's called or something. Yeah, they use lasers or something like that to display on the mirror because it doesn't really look like that. If you watch a real shuttle launch, no, it doesn't look like that, and you can actually see it's like not right. I don't know. They use alcohol though; it's alcohol burn, but you can tell it's not right at all. Anyway, this is a 1/32nd scale model that they built of the thing and did like a little thing, and this is how JFK and Nixon and all of them say that they're actually like a space agency. And they would actually do their radio show in conjunction with this. I had some competition. I better look out. My LSF spaceship has some competition. You have some stiff competition, Lucifer. Anyway, you can actually tell from the video. Where is it? They stretched it out as much as they could, showing all these different angles and jiggling the camera. Like I said, it's actually a projector that's actually showing the actual film was they didn't move the camera at all. But then when they actually did another recording, this is actually just a displayed thing on a film. You can tell that's actually like a video screen or whatever. I mean, it's a projector that's projecting this image up there. You can kind of tell with the way it looks and everything. Besides, they did the nice little boxing of it. Like it never looks like that in the camera. What the? Yeah, whatever. And they boxed it and everything, and they're projecting it basically. But you can tell that what we're actually looking at is a projected image, pretty much, just like as if I'm. Oh yeah, we're moving really bad. You can actually tell because they're still jiggling the camera here all. Now they're holding it steady. That was me jiggling, sorry. But they're basically like through most of it. Anyway, a guy admitted it finally, eventually. You actually tell with some of the bolts. Some of the bolts are like way too big. Because they actually had to use screws or whatever, but they used little bitty bolts. So they, on one of these other shots, where is it? Right here. You can tell right here, they use these bolts right here to fasten something down. And you can tell those are pretty big bolts. And what are they holding down anyway? That bolt right there. Just keeping it from blow away, but that bolt would be like a foot wide if that was real. Yeah, it's a really nice little model, really. 1/32nd model. Or more. I made 64 second, 1/64 scale model of the space shuttle. Anyway, they set up their little mission control and everything, and they had a little mission control, and they had, and they actually broadcasted it and said it and filmed it and did everything and actually even tracked it up just like it was a real space shuttle. And they said, okay, now we're switching over to our whatever, and they cut the film. Well, of course, because it would run out. It wasn't really actually going to go into space. So anyway, but yeah. At least they stopped with the sound effects. They actually originally did sound effects, and you could tell, like, with this thing right here, that's obviously just a model. They sold all these models, too, by the way. They sold these models for like $1,000 a piece or $1,500 a piece. So they actually made some people actually bought the space shuttle model. They mass produced them. Yeah, but it's just a model. Nothing but a model. Nothing but a model. Maybe it's my like 1/37th or 1/72 scale or something. Had some shots of the what's called. Very nice model actually. Very realistic looking. A guy actually showed it though. It's basically like movie magic. It was actually done for like a movie they were gonna make or whatever, but they never used a shot or something. Oh yeah, they're shining a flashlight right now. What they're actually doing is they're actually shining a flashlight on at the view screen to make it look like. I don't know why they're actually doing that, but they're shining a flashlight at the view screen to give it a little extra effect. Yeah, but yeah, it's just a model that they made for a movie. They never used $50,000 model that actually they got over $1 million or $150,000, $150 million for. And anyway, it was never really used in the movie, of course. But basically, yeah.